Want to introduce Becca White. Um, she's so knowledgeable. She has Converse with the Nurse, where she teaches people about cannabis and their health. She's an RN and teaches nursing classes, and she's also an herbalist, and so she's just a wealth of information. And she wanted to talk with us about citrus oils in general. And so I'm excited to hand it over to Becca.
Thank you, Joni. Yeah, I really enjoy all of the citrus, and it was hard for me to know which one when. So I wanted to just dive into that and figure out, like, oh, all of our citrus oils are good, in one way or the other, but we're going to talk some specifics as well. So the information that we're sharing tonight is not intended to diagnose, cure, or treat disease. This is for your own personal information and your own personal health gains. Using the lemon essential oil in my water was was kind of my first exposure to the citrus oils. And I've found that using it consistently has really helped me personally with some weight loss and also chronic pain. If we delve in deeply into the oils, we have quite a few citrus-derived essential oils that we like. All of them are antiseptic, which means that you can use them dilute topically or internally to fight against those bugs. And we'll talk how some of them are better as antibacterial and some of them are better as antivirals. They're all anti-inflammatory, so when we're talking about any sort of inflammation, adding that citrus to your profile will really help and encourage that inflammatory process and that cascade to slow and stop. Really beneficial for cell health, just maintaining that cell wall, which is really important. It's important for it to be permeable, but also to have that strength. And so all of our citrus oils do that. So if we're thinking about topically and we need something for wrinkles, or we have an issue in cellular, we can use those topically. The one contraindication or thing that you need to know about is if you put citrus oils topically on your skin, you want to avoid the sun for about 12 hours because you'll see it, and it's not staining your skin, but I don't know what it does, but you can see where you put the oil on. And you can burn, which is interesting to me because all of the citrus oils are used as a remedy for burns as well as causing that sun sensitivity. One thing that Janae taught me was the reason that our essential oils are better than just like the fresh lemon or fresh lime is because they don't ruin the enamel on your teeth. And that's because they're from the rind. The way that doTERRA distills out, it really picks up those terpenes. And it doesn't have that white stuff that's what degrades your enamel. The terpenes, which are a chemical constituent in all plants, we've done a really good job scientifically in determining what each terpene does. The terpenes that are in all of the oils that we're going to talk today are limonene, which is one of the antiseptic anti-inflammatory terpenes, alpha pinene and beta pinene. And those, we talk a lot about the pinenes when we talk about inflammation and also when we talk about cell health. It's really great for maintaining that cellular health. So that too is why I like them done internally. It being summer and it's getting really hot around here, I find that I can maintain my hydration if I'm using my different citrus oils to add add. And I personally, to, my big water bottle, add like 10 drops. So you have a good hearty flavor in those.
One thing is, so 10 drops in your bottle of what, 28, 32. When you're starting with the citrus oil, start with a couple of drops and add, because they are powerful. So you do develop a taste for them. I find that if you get too much of them, they might taste a little bitter, depending. And the other thing that I just wanted to add, the citrus in general, is if you are adding it to your water, make sure that you're drinking out of either glass or stainless steel. Do not drink out of plastic.
Because they'll pull the plastics out of that container, right?
Yes, they dissolve plastics, so they'll eat away at your plastics. So it's a good thing in your body to have them dissolving plastics, because we're in a very plastic world and we end up with a lot of plastics in our system. So it's great for detoxing, but you don't want it to detox your bottle.
Well, let's start with when I think of citrus, I just think automatically lemon, and it's one of my favorites because it is so versatile. And I find that, it doesn't matter what the month is, there's always a lemon oil on my order. So if you feel like you need a little something, then that's one to have really coming to you every month is nice, because you can use it in so many ways. You can use it topically. We use it for burns a lot, so we have it right in the kitchen, right next to the stove. We use it in our water, making just our homemade lemonades, but we also use it a lot to clean, like our home. We're kind of clean people. One thing that I did too is I went through the Emotion and Essential Oils book, so that we'll talk about the emotions of all of the citrus. So then if you're looking to specifically, energize in some way, then lemon is what you want.
Can you tell us what your homemade lemonade consists of?
Oh yeah, it's so I make it in a giant jar that's like what, 2 quarts?
Those big mason jars?
Yeah, 2 quarts maybe. And I'll put like the juice of a lemon, the juice of a lime, like 5 drops of lemon, 5 drops of lime, some aloe juice, like a cup, a little dash of stevia, liquid, and then water and ice to fill the rest. Yeah, really delicious, and it's really good for you. And I've noticed, like when I eat too much sugar or too much carbohydrate, if I can have my lemonade afterwards, it really helps me feel better, and it helps me get back into the ketosis. So lemon is if you need to focus on something, then lemon will help you feel energized and be able to get away all of the distractions and focus on what you're needing to attend to. The next one that we really like is lime. And like I said, all of these are antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, and great for cell health. If lime is also very antiviral. So it talks a lot about using lime in fighting against herpes, and all the topical chickenpox, all the viruses that we're worried about. So lime also, if you're feeling like you don't really have that zest for life, that is the emotional grounding of lime. Lime will, so awesome for folks who are, feeling that sadness or that, like, what's the point? Lime would be a great one to add in because it really strengthens your zest for life. The next one is Litsea. And Litsea is, if you smell it, it's like super similar to lemon, more so than all of the other citrus. And I found this interesting. The Litsea is about manifesting and following through, which I loved that the lemon was about the energizing and focusing, and then the Litsea brings in that follow through. So diffusing it when we're making our follow-up calls is one of the nice energetics of Litsea, is that follow through. Wild orange, I personally don't really love this one in my water, but adding it to our smoothies or protein shakes is a really great way to do. It's really high in a terpene called myrcene, and myrcene is one of the terpenes that helps us feel at ease with life, that helps us feel like, oh, it's gonna be okay, huh? And I found that interesting that the emotion of wild orange was going from feeling drained to productive, and that feeling of abundance, like it's gonna be fine, there's enough for everyone, let's be abundant, is the wild orange. Tangerine, so the tangerine, we learned a new word, it's called cytophylactic, cytophylacitic, cytophylactic. And what that means, it's cell protective. So the biggest risk for cancer is age. So as we become elders, then maybe tangerine is one that we want to bring more into our bodies, because it's really helping those cells maintain that strength. So it's cell protective, which is awesome. The emotion of the tangerine, it helps you get out of feeling stuck, but still hold your boundaries, which I just found that wonderful. The next one I thought we would talk about was grapefruit. And grapefruit is all about like the body. It's about self-love and physical love and addiction, because addiction is very much a body thing as well as a mind thing. And it's particular for women's health, which I found that, you know, of all the oils we've been researching, grapefruit stood out to be primarily for our women's health. I thought that was interesting, specifically for women's health, but also for our bodies. I mean, we're not really taught in this to love our bodies, but we should be, and so grapefruit can help us to get that way. Green mandarin helps us explore life. If we are doing any work with our inner child, or we have children around us that aren't exploring life with wonder and excitement like the childlike feelings, green mandarin is one to diffuse. I love green mandarin diffused. No photosensitivity with green mandarin. Bergamot is specific to anything fungal, so it's very antifungal. I got a wicked bad toenail fungus when I did my service trip in Nicaragua, and it comes and goes as it does. And I'm always using like clove or melaleuca or something really strong smelly. But how lovely to do that bergamot, you know, that's sweet kind of ish. So it's about fungus. It's also about the joints, and our joints are what help us move throughout this world. And the bergamot is about feeling supported in your worth. So I thought that just went right in line with our joint health, is feeling supported and feeling worthy of abundance and love. The last one that I wanted to talk to you about was petitgrain, a really good cleanser, similar to lemon. Cleansing of the system, really good in detox. Also topically for skin stuff, similar to lavender in the topical relations, but the citrus form. But petitgrain does have the sun sensitivity. It's about the emotion of the petitgrain is about accepting your ancestry and being able to use your ancestry knowledge to move forward with that strength and that self-love. I thought that was interesting how the emotions of the oils kind of tied into how the citrus specifically act with our bodies. I just thought that was pretty amazing and magical.
And I think, can I interrupt?
Of course.
I think that if you listen, you will pick the oil that you need.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys have some specific citrus you want to tell us about? I mean, they're so amazing, and I feel like people have real affinity to one or the other.
Sorry, I have a lot of background noise. I just want to pop on and just say that the Zendocrine blend has tangerine in it. So it's the detox blend, but it's also very cell supportive. So just to let you know that's another way to get your tangerine.
We decided not to do the special ones like kumquat and clementine and stuff because they're not routine on our doTERRA orders, but there are a lot of fun like specialty citrus oils that doTERRA has given us, which is also fun. Yeah. And diffusing any of these is just light and bright. So if it feels like dark and damp, and I mean, we need this all year in Portland, Oregon, we're always diffusing our citrus because we need that light bright.
Many years ago now, there was a workplace study at Vanderbilt emergency room. It's the busiest emergency room in the country. And they did a diffusing study there to see how diffusing oils affected nurses in their workplace. And they diffused just citrus oil. So I think it was grapefruit and one at a time. So just grapefruit, just lemon, and just wild orange. Thousands of people going through there every day, and they didn't have one adverse reaction to diffusing them. So that's a really good thing to know, is that, if you happen to be in a workplace, that study is available, and I actually can send you information about that if you want it for your workplace, so that you can show the powers that be that diffusing just does good things, especially with those citrus oils. One other thing about diffusing, also an older study from the early days of doTERRA, they were doing fundraising at BYU. They had one room with donors where they didn't have any, that was just a normal room, and the other room with donors that they had cleaned the room with lemon and they diffused lemon. And the donations in the lemon room were significantly higher. I don't remember the percentage now, but they were significantly higher. So when I was selling my houses, so I've, since I've been with doTERRA, I've sold 2 houses, and I always made sure that I was diffusing lemon and other citrus oils while I was showing the house.
What's your favorite citrus?
Green mandarin or lime?
Okay, so for a long time it was lemon, because I think that's the only one that I use consistently. But recently I've been really into wild orange. But I think if it's based on like how much I use it, then definitely lemon, because I use lemon. Well, I won't say too much because I don't think there's such a thing, but a lot. I use it a lot.
Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you, Becca, for such a great presentation on our citrus oils. Hopefully that gives you an idea of a new oil or two to try, maybe one that you heard maybe you need. I know that when Becca was talking about grapefruit, I just recently started putting grapefruit in my water, and I loved the taste when I didn't like it before, and now I see why. So definitely something that I was needing. So thank you all for joining us, and I hope to see you all again next week.
Thanks, Becca.
Thank you. Have a good week.